From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, it's Biz Champions time here on The Horse's Mouth at my bar, of course, at Tommy Max, where you never know who ends up at the bar and how they end up at the bar as well. That's what makes this show extra special. Brought to you by our good friends at Foodies Care. Major Harding is here, of course, and so is Coach Dave Campo, my two norms. They love hanging out at my bar. We got a special guest from WJXT. He's a sales executive, and his name is Daryll Paiva. And let's welcome him into the show. Daryll, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you, my man.
You too.
Daryll comes on a sales call downstairs, like, hey, man, I'm new. I'm trying to get around, and I want to call. And they're like, hey, just go upstairs and hang out at the bar and come on the show.
That's why us bar flies hang out here, because we get to talk about a lot of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. All right, so you're in sales, obviously.
Yes, sir.
You've been in tech sales. You've been all around the world. You grew up in Italy?
Yep.
Born in Italy?
Yep.
Grew up in
Grew up
Italy?
in Sicily.
But been back and forth in Jacksonville because
Mm-hmm.
of your parents being involved in the military. And thank them for their service, man.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Did you get into the military as well?
I did not. No,
Okay.
No.
You saw that. You're like,
They retired. I retired.
there you go. There you go. All right, tell us about sales, man. Tell us how you're doing with Channel 4 and what's the best part of going from tech to media type sales?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of, I guess, similarities between the two. Both are dynamic industries. Coming into Jacksonville, getting into the sales side of WJXT has been really exciting. Working with small businesses, helping them grow, being an integral part of their media strategy is always exciting. Unlike tech sales, when you're dealing with usually big conglomerates that have a lot of VC money, these are really small businesses, and being a part of that small business, watching that growth, supporting families and community is always.
Yeah, in tech sales, you got to have the implementer, right? You're not just selling it. You got to make sure that it gets done right. I mean, that's a lot to manage. My brother's in it, so I know what he goes through. You know, it's a lot to manage and all that. Not that the sales that you're doing with WJXT isn't. Digital's got to be huge, right? So you add that to the plate. I mean, everybody's on using digital marketing these days.
Yeah, absolutely correct. So we kind of take the entire gamut of marketing. So we've got broadcast, we've got digital, we do creative. So there's a lot of opportunity there.
Very cool. Major, how are you, man?
Hey, Tom.
Welcome. You know all about sales. Coach, as a coach, you've been selling your whole life. I mean, we do. You know, we are salesmen.
We're all entrepreneurs. That's the biggest part. People ask me all the time, how did you deal with guys that look like Tom McManus and make a lot more money than I did? and it's all about sales.
Absolutely.
You're selling yourself, you're selling the scheme, you're selling the head coach, you're selling, your system, the whole thing. So very similar.
Sales is a lot like playing sports, right? You got to be prepared, and then you got to go perform.
Team building.
And you got to handle rejection.
Yeah.
I talk to sales teams sometimes. I always say, look, no means not right now.
Yeah.
So just relax.
Yep.
Don't act like it's going to kill your day or your hour or even a minute. Just be like, thank you for your time. Can I check back in a few months?
Absolutely.
Normally, they're like, yeah, come back around. Thanks for handling it that way. Instead of being all upset and panicked and all that kind of stuff. Now, you got to have the pipeline thick. Like we do as athletes and coaches, right? You got to make sure you're ready to go and prepared, and then you work on yourself, right? You're a confident guy, I can tell.
Yeah.
That helps a ton.
Yeah,
You're not afraid to talk to anybody.
No,
right?
not at all.
Right. Neither am I, and I love it. Like, you can talk. I feel like I can chat with just about anybody.
You also have to know your product, and the product has to be a good one. And that's the better sales you are, you can make not as good a product better.
You're right. You're right. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not. I sell all the time, like just me and what I'm doing. But I'm like, I don't like. There's no dust or it's just like you either want to do it or you don't, and you're not gonna hurt my. If you say no, it's okay.
Right.
I got others I've got going on. You know what I mean? So like, it's not like I'm not a good BSer, if you will.
Yeah.
Some sales you got to have a little bit of that gumption, right? A little bit of the. But I can hang and talk all day long. But I'm just not as far as sales like. That regimented,
What you see is what you get.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. You're either into it or you're not,
It's definitely a relationship business. WJXT makes it easy. We've got a fantastic product that works. We're #1 news station in the market. So it that reputation kind of precedes you when you walk through the door. When you wear that pin, it makes the conversation a lot easier.
I was a part of Sam Kavars's show on Channel 4 for many years. Yeah.
When did you start?
I just started in October.
Yeah,
Okay, so
everything is new to me now.
passion is there. You're ready to roll.
So you're out there just meeting and greeting and just letting people
That's
know
exactly
what
right.
you. Well, this is. You know what? It's smart they set you up here because that's all we do on the horse's mouth. You get a chance to tell what you're doing, and then you take this link that we send you.
Yeah.
And you get to share it all over the place.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah,
that. I
help
really
you a lot.
appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
I've got a good LinkedIn following, but Channel 4 we touch 1.6 million people in the market, so
Yeah.
we do a lot of
That's
great
incredible.
Right, Tom.
Really.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then, and the digital stuff is just continuing to grow.
Yeah.
Right. Even on the
Absolutely.
radio stations, TV
Yep.
stations, you're heavy into digital these
Yeah.
days, and should be.
Well, they're great companions, right? So you've got the broadcast where you kind of get the messaging, then you get hyper targeted with the digital side of things. And really get
I
to
was
the
at an event last night in Ponte Vedra. They're launching a digital marketing company, and I was talking to their CMO, their chief marketing officer, this lady that been doing it for like 20 years. And we're talking about just social media marketing and hitting the algorithms, and she's like, look, they change them all the time. You gotta like sit there and watch them, try to figure it
Yeah.
out, and this and that. But she made an interesting comment. She says LinkedIn is going to be the new influencer platform.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, the businesses are there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you're not
no
going to
question.
have girls in bikinis washing
Right.
car wash and
Right.
stuff like that, blowing hoses on each other, that kind of
Right.
stuff. But you're going to have legitimate
Yep.
pitch people, spokespeople.
Yep.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the decision makers are on LinkedIn. I've been a pretty avid user for quite a few years now. Probably
Yeah, me
about
too.
5-6 years.
Me
yeah.
too. LinkedIn's fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you see AI going with broadcast?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's really hard to answer because the industry changes so fast,
Yeah.
and because they're kind of reciprocal. Like as soon as AI changes, then broadcast has to change.
Right.
So I really don't know.
It helps the writers probably more than anything at this point, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Get their stories quicker.
Yeah.
At least give them a basis of what
Absolutely.
they can.
For efficiency. for
Right,
sure.
efficiency. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're in the right place with Channel 4 because, for an example, I coached at USC and I coached at Kansas.
Okay.
It was a lot easier recruiting at USC than it was at Kansas.
Yeah, just girls flashing.
Exactly.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that's
No
good.
doubt.
You do have an in right away coming in.
Yeah.
So Daryl, someone watching this show that's thinking about getting into sales, not radio, just sales in general. What would you say to them, man? What kind of advice would you maybe even give your younger self as a salesperson?
Sure. Confidence is key. That definitely takes everything. Understanding your product, really digging deep, and finding a product that you can believe in. A lot of times people get into sales just because they're looking to make a dollar. There is a lot of money to be made.
Yep.
You have to be good. You have to know how to build relationships, but you got to have a product that works.
Yep, no doubt about that. And work on yourself.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You stay fit, I can tell.
Yeah. Well,
It's
And
important.
he's looking good, so he got.
Oh, show your guns. You've been lifting.
Oh, and I got a little bit going now too here.
Come on.
for me, it's just walk
Keeps
back
you
and
alive.
forth to the refrigerator.
That's right. Yeah, you can eat more. You can eat more. That's all that.
That last chocolate chip cookie.
All right, as we wrap up this Biz Champion segment, we ask every panel, how do you define success? Daryl, I'll start with you. How would you define success?
So it's personal, right? So do you have a sense of peace? Do you have a sense of belonging where you're at? Obviously financial gains can help soothe those worries, but are you happy? Are you productive? Are you giving to the community?
Cool. Great answer.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know what your answer is.
Well, it's the 3 F's.
Yeah.
It's faith, family, and friends.
Yeah.
And just living life, giving back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Serving. How about you?
I would say the same thing. I think really when it's all said and done, if you have a vision
Yeah.
and it comes to pass and you were part of that, but
Yeah.
the family, I think you really have to look at it. I always felt that when I go 6 feet under,
Yep.
I don't worry about people knowing about the Super Bowls. I want them to say, that Campo was a pretty good guy.
No doubt about that.
And really, to be honest with you, I think that's, to me, that's what you look for in success.
Absolutely.
And I don't think I'm completely there yet, but I do think that's
I
the way
went
to
to
go.
a celebration of life on Saturday. My friend Kevin Porter, he's
Yes.
been on the show, Big
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Porter. His
Yep.
brother passed away, his older
Okay.
brother.
Okay.
Brian, who I got to know a little bit. Brian owned World of Karate, the karate dojo, for decades. His dad owned it before. So during the ceremony, the son gets up and he's talking and he's talking about how many people from the dojo are there, young and old, and he said, if you had earned a black belt under my father's tutelage, please stand and come forward. And like 50 of them came forward. And you're like, wow. And it wasn't just about knowing the karate. It was you could see the camaraderie. You could see the
family.
How much he meant to everyone.
It was a family. It was
success,
a family.
like what you're talking about. You want people to be like, yeah, okay, you have success. That's great.
Yeah.
But what else?
Yeah.
What impact did you really leave behind?
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, great job, man. You did a great job. See, you can handle anything, man. Absolutely. Hey, you're all welcome at my show, and that's even if you walk in off the street. It don't matter. You can just come here and have a seat and grab a beer or whatever and tell your story. We'll do it each and every week here from Client Focus Media. Make sure you check out Daryll's profile. You see Coach. You'll see Majors as well. This conversation, thousands of others. Just go to the dailynewsnetwork.com website and you'll see it all there. Until next time, y'all stay safe, stay cool, and we'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Foodies Care is a nonprofit organization here started in Jacksonville, Florida. Our mission is to support other nonprofits realize and carry out their missions. We're trying to simplify that process to have a local body that's here on the ground and says, listen, we're going to work with you, we're going to partner with you, we're going to give you the resources that you need to be able to do the work that is needed in this community.